Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've stood here in this location to do a video, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to stand here and do one again to do a comparison to the last time I stood here, several months ago, or 6 to 8 months ago, when I used to do my weekly Monday weigh-ins. So what I wanted to talk about today is something that there's been a lot of questions about lately, and that has to do with should you be afraid of having stuck episodes, sliming episodes, and should you let that stop you from getting a band? Of course, it's going to be a personal decision whether or not you should let it stop you from getting a band. That you may decide that something else is a better option for you. But I thought I'd at least tell you what some of the yucky parts of eating are for me personally since I've been lap banded. I've had quite a few uncomfortable episodes since I've been banded, and fortunately I haven't had any of those for several months, or very few of those in several months. But there was a time when my 10cc band was filled at 5.5 cc's where I went through a time period where almost every day I had some kind of an episode. I'm going to classify mine as not ever having a stuck episode. And that's just on hindsight. In some of my previous videos I may have called it stuck, but as I've matured with my band, I've learned more than I originally knew in the beginning, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. It's such a learning process. But I don't think I've ever had a stuck episode. To me, a true stuck would be when you have a clump of food, maybe a piece of potato, a piece of chicken or something like that, that gets stuck in the stoma area. Like for instance, if your little hole's this big and you didn't chew and you've got a piece of potato and it's stuck and it won't go down. Or maybe even stuck could be somewhere in the esophagus area, that you have a chunk of food that doesn't move down. Mostly what I have, I'd almost call it a little short-lived blockage maybe. I mean, I suppose you could call it stuck, but to me that's not really what it is. I have never had that episode on any kind of meat, especially ground beef, never on anything that's really crunchy, fibrous like popcorn or anything like that. What I have a problem with is things that you chew that are mushy, that turn into a mush. And some examples, my very first horrible episode was on, oh gosh, I did a video on it. I can't think of the name of what you call that junk now, but I'll never eat it again. It's the garbanzo beans that are all pureed, and then they have like tomato basil and things like that in it. I can't think of it right now, but anyway, you buy it in a little tub and it's a paste. And after I got my second fill, I thought, oh, this would be great. I had these little like a shaved piece of lunch meat, so shaved you could hold it up and almost see through it. And I had a couple of those on my plate and about a tablespoon of this pasty stuff that I thought that'd be good. It's so soft, it won't take me long to chew it and digest it. Boy, was I wrong. It got down in there, it got all globbed up, and then the saliva, that thick, yucky stuff that your body produces, comes along with the sliming process, I guess, just seemed to attack it and wrap around it, and then it seems like it won't go away, and you have to go in, or for me anyway, you have to get it out. So I've had lots of sliming episodes, and I'll tell you a little bit about the sliming episodes that I've had. They usually come on by, I can feel down in here somewhere, that not usually up high, it's usually down lower, that there's a problem. And then I start, even from the back of my nose, I start having a lot of mucus. I'll sneeze, which I think, if you remember, some of you that watched my earlier videos, I used to say that every morning I sneezed after I ate breakfast. I think I was too full. The more full I get, the more mucus I produce, and I start to sneeze. I can feel the mucus going down the back of my throat, and I can just imagine what's going on in here with the mucus just trying to attack the food. Anyway, I end up with this little ball of food, not very big necessarily, but with this thick, slimy, it's like egg white sort of stuff on it, I guess. But I've sat there with a cup before and been able to just, as it heaves up a little bit, spit into a cup. I've put this much fluid, saliva, slimy stuff in a cup before. So there's a lot that I produce. Now, the first time I ever had a stuck episode, I was scared to death. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out. I was about to cry. I called the doctor's office, told them what was happening. That night, I slept with a wash rag next to my mouth and just spit in the wash rag. The next day, slowly over time, it started to get better. And you learn how to deal with it. I don't panic anymore when that happens. In fact, I go with it more than I used to. I just go into the bathroom, and if I need to make it come up, I need to make it come up. And again, that's just a personal thing. I don't recommend that you make things come up. But one thing is, I'm not making things come up that actually make it down in to my stomach. So it's not like it has to come back up through the pouch. I'm really not even sure if I'm making things come up that are actually in my pouch, because 9 times out of 10, mostly what comes up is just the mucus and the water. There's sometimes not even any trace of food in it. Maybe, let's say that I had taken a vitamin or something, and it's kind of makes things tinged grape colored, so maybe the fluid when it comes up is a little bit purple, but there's really no signs of the actual food in it. And again, I think it happens sometimes when I overeat, not always. I don't usually have the sensation that comes, like around this area, like when you've got the flu and you're going to vomit, where you make the real thin saliva. I've not had that except for maybe like 2 weeks ago for some reason. I ate something, I think I drank something, it was like Kool-Aid or water or something, and all of a sudden I had that flush feeling come over me, and it felt like sort of when I have the flu and I have to vomit, and it was like, ugh, I had to shake my head and spit a little bit, and then it went away. Nothing ever did come up. So that was odd that I only had that once. But I hear people talk about that that's the same feeling they have when they have a stuck episode or sliming. I will also tell you that I thought papaya enzymes were a miracle cure the first few times I had this sliming episode, and I thought I was stuck. And what happened was, after I took 4 papaya enzymes, the natural process of what was going to happen anyway, which I didn't realize at the time. I thought the papaya enzymes were what brought it on. I took the papaya enzymes, and then in a short time I went in, the watery stuff came up, and I had relief. So I thought, yay, we love these papaya enzymes. But what I found out in this year is the papaya enzymes don't make a hill of beans difference to me. If I take 4 of them, it's going to come up, or probably it's going to come up if I took them, or if I didn't, it doesn't do anything. But I'm not sure. Papaya enzymes might work great for somebody who does have a piece of food lodged, that the papaya enzymes help break it down somehow so that it moves on through. But papaya enzymes are useless for me, so I still have them around, but I haven't used them in forever. What else can I tell you about sliming? Anytime you bring something up that's been in your stomach, potentially it's a dangerous territory to go into, because you don't want to, you've got that band around your stomach, and you don't want any spasms or anything to pull that stomach away from where your band is located and move it up or move it down or anything like that. But sometimes, for myself, I felt like I've had no other alternative but to go in and make that come back up, because it sure didn't feel like it was going down. And if I had to do it again, or had the opportunity to do this again, knowing that I would have the sliming problem or the stuck problems, absolutely 100%, that is a very minor bump in the road compared to the benefits that I think I've got from having a band. Yeah, it's inconvenient, and yeah, it sucks. and most of the time I have control on it. I'm going to say if I go into a restaurant and I have a sliming episode, nobody's fault but my own, because I can tell when they're coming on now this far out. So anyway, I meant to make this short. It's going long, so I'm going to stop, and I will talk to you later.